This video is about Elizabethan explorers, part of the AQA Elizabethan England GCSE series. And in it we consider the reasons why England suddenly became such a prosperous and successful nation through trade. It starts really, like many things, out of necessity. The routes to the east were largely blocked, the overland routes, and therefore nations like Spain and Portugal had discovered routes by ship. Even the case of Portugal around Africa, and the case of Spain from Christopher Columbus across the Atlantic to North and South America. In the process of these explorations, they became fabulously rich, particularly Spain, with the gold and silver they found in the Americas. This posed a problem to England because England had become, in Elizabeth's reign, an enemy of Spain, and as a result, England needed to find routes to trade, especially once Antwerp was cut off by the Spanish, and that meant a series of companies were created in Elizabethan England. The Muscovy Company for Russia, the Eastland Company for Scandinavia, the Levant Company for the Middle East and the Mediterranean, and the East India Company, most famously of all, for India, which was going to become a very important part of the British Empire. Well, the other thing that was discovered was that the Spanish were fabulously rich, but their boats were capable of being attacked and the gold plundered. And people like Francis Drake were very successful at that. Indeed, his trip around the world, which he did from 1577 to 1580, managed to accomplish an amazing amount of taking gold off the Spanish, so much so that he could fund Elizabeth's government to some extent. But the activities of Drake were themselves going to create increased hostility by the Spanish to the English, and eventually be one of the contributing factors to the Spanish Armada. Sir Walter Raleigh looked at the possibilities of colonizing America, and though never successful in Elizabeth's reign, became a foundation for future colonies. All in all, these processes of exploring the world and setting up colonies became very important for the furtherance of the gospel, because as a result of all this activity, the gospel was able to reach every part of the world within 100 to 200 years, and God's purposes were fulfilled in that. Thank you for listening.